Hey guys, Chris here. How's it going? So I've had the car about 10 days now, and since it's October and it's going to be the end of the year soon, I wanted to do some kind of track event with it, whether that be drag strip or autocross or track day or something. I wasn't able to find any autocrosses. I wasn't able to find any track days really, but I did find a drag strip near me that had one more test and tune for the year. So just 10 days into ownership, I'm going to take the car to the drag strip tomorrow and see how it does. I have really low expectations. I've only been drag racing one time before, and that was in 2008, so like 12 years ago, and that was in a Volkswagen GTI. And I think I only did 5 or 6 passes, so I've only drag raced one time. I've only done 5 or 6 passes, and I really don't know anything about it, so I have really low expectations for how it'll go. But I did want to get the car out and do some kind of track event with it before the end of the year. So that's what this video will be about. I'll show you some of my runs, and then at the end of it I'll go over some things I learned and some things I need to do. So hope you enjoyed the video. It's just my first experience drag racing this car, so hopefully it should be fun. Hey guys, Chris here. So back from the drag strip, I didn't really film that much there. I was mostly just concerned with trying to figure out where to go and what to do and all that stuff. But it's been a few days now, so I figured I'd make this and update with how it went and what I learned and all that kind of stuff. So test and tune was actually really busy. There was a bunch of people there, so I only got 5 runs, which I don't know if that's normal or not, but it seemed to be going kind of slow. But anyways, 5 runs. My best was a 13.2 at 102 miles an hour, which I know is not very good for this car. This car should easily be in the 12s, low 12s, maybe even high 11s. But like I said in the beginning of the video, the intro, I'm not a drag racer by any way, shape, or form. So I have really no clue what I'm doing. It's something I need to learn and get better at. But that's a starting point, 13.2 at 102. All my runs were pretty consistent. My slowest was 13.4, and then my mile an hour went from 102 to 106. So quite a bit to go. I think the biggest thing, my 60-foot times were really bad, which I knew that the last time I drag raced they were really bad too. My best 60-foot time was a 1.98, and then I had some that were like 2.2 or something like that. I think the last time I drag raced, 12 years ago in my Volkswagen GTI, I remember having 60-foot times, I think like 2.5 seconds or something. So I think the 1.98 60-foot I did was my best 60-foot ever, so that's pretty good. But these should be, I need to get down to the 1.5, 1.6 range. So I remember an old saying, like if you take a tenth off of your 60-foot, it's worth 2 tenths in the quarter mile. So if I could go from a 2.0 to a 1.6, that would be 8 tenths in the quarter mile right there. So that's a big thing I have to work on. Another thing is I was really struggling for traction a lot. This car has Michelin Super Sports on the back, which again, spending so much time with this Formula V, I have really not paid attention to street tires at all. So I don't know, I thought they were good, but somebody at the drag strip told me that these are no good for drag racing, and he seemed like somebody who knew what he was talking about. And I also did some reading on the Corvette forums that said, they can work, but you have to get them really hot in order for them to work well. I was not doing that at all. I was just doing a little tiny burnout just to clean the tires off, but I don't think it was really heating them up at all. And you'll see in some of the videos that I had a lot of wheel spin, especially going into second gear. When I started going in second gear, I was getting a ton of wheel spin, which I think is indicative that I was not heating these hard tires up enough. So when I go back, that's one thing I'm going to try to work on, is do a nice big burnout and get them nice and hot. And I think that'll be worth a few tenths there if I can actually grip and go. Another thing too is I don't think I was doing full throttle in first and second. I think I was kind of short shifting a little bit because I was worried about the wheel spin on the first run or two. I did some practice launches on the street and it seemed fine, but when I got to the strip and actually launched it, it got a ton of wheel spin. So I think I was taking it easy because of that. So I think the combination of all those things, the slow 60-foot time, not doing a big enough burnout, and having cold tires, and then maybe short shifting a little bit because I was worried about wheel spin, is what led me to only getting a 13.2. My goal for the trip was to get in the 12s, so I didn't make that, but I think with me going there having no experience basically, and I was more just trying to figure out like where to go when I got there and where to line up and what do I do when I'm done, and just basic logistics kind of stuff like that. So, but anyways, it was a lot of fun. Definitely something I'm going to do more in the springtime once it rolls around. I guess I have all winter to really read up on drag racing and figure out what I'm supposed to do. But my goal ultimately with the car is to get into the 11s. Everything I've read, based on the modifications it has and stuff, it should be able to do high 11s. So that's my goal, is to get it to that point. I don't really want to change anything to do that. I'd like to do it the way it is. Maybe a different rear tire is needed, maybe not, I don't know. But I'm gonna try at least with these and see what I can do. And if I do get down into the low 12s and I'm struggling to get into the 11s, then maybe I'll try a different rear tire and see. The other thing is this car, it has no catalytic converters, and it does have a tune, but it's not tuned for no catalytic converters, so it does throw a check engine light occasionally. So I think another thing I'm going to do before the spring is I'm going to take the car to some LS tuner somewhere, find one nearby, and have them dyno the car and retune it. I might get maybe a little bit more power that way, just so that I can make sure the tune is okay, and then get rid of the check engine light and stuff like that. So I got a couple things in mind for the spring before I go back again, besides just watching a lot of videos and doing some reading to figure out how to actually drive on a drag strip. But yeah, overall it was a pretty successful first trip. Nothing broke, which I'm not surprised at all. I wasn't expecting anything. It was fun. It was easy, which is, you know, I said in my first video, I want a car that's easy. This Formula V is a ton of work, ton of effort. This thing, to go to the drag strip, I literally did nothing. I put my helmet in the back, and that was about it. I got there, I put my helmet on, I didn't even check tire pressures or didn't do anything. I just went right down the strip. I guess another thing too is I wasn't letting the car cool off between runs. I don't know how important that is. I mean, it was the middle of October and it was pretty cold out, so, but maybe if I let it cool down a little bit between runs, I might gain a little tenth or two there. I don't know. But yeah, that's basically it. An uneventful trip. You know, I'm sure everybody will laugh at me for only doing a 13.2 in a car that should easily be a 12.2, but hey, you know, everybody's got to start somewhere, and I definitely am not trying to brag and say I'm a good drag racer, not by any means. So yeah, that's pretty much it. I hope you enjoyed it. You know, I'll make some more videos in the spring when I actually go again, and hopefully I'll quickly get into the 12s, and then I can start chipping away, getting into the 11s where I want to be. But yeah, I'm glad I was able to do some kind of track event. I wasn't able to find an autocross. I found a track day at Nelson Ledges, but I didn't want to really take the vacation time and spend the money to go and run a whole 8-hour day when I only really wanted to do like an hour or a half hour. So I decided not to do that, but I'm glad I got it out. Now I can say that I've owned the car for 10 days and took to some kind of track, and I had fun with it. And it was nice. So yeah, I think that's about it for now. Got a little bit more coming up with the Formula V. Getting it ready. I just ran at Beaver Run, or well, Pittsburgh International now, but I call it Beaver Run. I just ran there the other day. Pretty good. I was fourth, and then I was second, so close again, but not quite to getting a first. I'm just doing a couple things. I'm going to go to Nelson Ledges in a few weeks and just do it's a regional race, but I don't think anybody's going to show up in my class, so I'm just going to go and test some stuff out and just enjoy driving around and then support the region, because they just started running there again after like a 7-year hiatus, so I want to support them and boost their entry numbers a little bit. So yep, next we'll be focusing on finishing up this thing, the Formula V, and then I'm going to start tearing it down for the winter. And then once I do that, probably take a little break and then maybe start doing some stuff to the Corvette. So if you enjoyed it, you know, subscribe, check back in. I'm going to do some more stuff over the winter with both cars. So thanks, bye.